So over the last year, twin tails or symmetrical boards have become really popular. You're seeing more and more pros skating twin tails like Neen Williams, Chris Roberts, Jamie Foy, just to name a few. And twin tails have been around for a long time, but I think we can thank Ishod Wair for sparking this trend in the last year or two. If you don't know who Ishod Wair is, are you really even a skateboarder? I mean, this guy is like the god of skateboarding. Odds are your favorite pro skater will tell you that Ishod Wair is their favorite pro skater. Ishod is just completely dripping in talent. Everything he does, it seems like he doesn't have to try. It's just so apparently effortless. This is what Ishod Wair had to say about why he started skating twin tails and what the benefit of skating a twin tail is.
It doesn't matter which truck I put on where because I ride a symmetrical board. So,
okay.
What got you into riding a symmetrical board?
Well, my thought process behind it was I like skating rails, nollie, or switch, but mainly nollie. I would whiff the pop sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's because normally the nose is a little bit steeper. So your tail or your nose takes longer to hit the ground.
Right.
Why do I have to pop further down for my more uncomfortable stance?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want a quicker snap so I know I'm gonna snap?
You're gonna snap,
You know what I mean?
right?
Yeah.
See, the downside to that is with your nose being bigger and you actually snapping, your tail gets farther from the ground, so you could potentially go higher.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I would rather want a more consistent pop and know that I'm gonna hit rather than going like a little bit higher.
So although I've been skating twin tails for a while, I actually didn't know that this is how it started. Ishod Wair was just bummed on popping nollies off of a nose, and it makes total sense that you'd want a consistent pop between your nollies and your regular ollies. And personally, from my experience skating Ishod's pro model, the tails have the perfect shape where even though you're skating off of two tails, it doesn't necessarily feel like it's weird or odd. Ishod's twin tail was the first twin tail that I ever skated, and now I've purchased probably like 4 or 5. Recently, I was actually sent this board in the mail from Glider Skateboards. Glider Skateboards is a company that does only twin tails from what I can tell. Maybe they'll branch out to other shapes, but for now, they're sticking to like twin tails is like their thing. If you guys have been watching my last few videos, Glider Skateboards actually agreed to do a giveaway. I'm gonna post the winner right here on the screen. So go ahead and shoot me a DM and we'll get you your free board. A little bit later in this video, I want to talk about why I personally think that skating twin tails is better for your skating. But first I want to get some skating in, so let's head to the park and get a session going. Actually, before we do that, we're gonna do the first kickflip test on this board. So if I land the first kickflip on this board, you have to like the video. So here we go. No cuts, no warm up, new board. Oh my gosh. Honestly, that was probably a bad idea. I think I might have like pulled my groin a little bit, but all right, let's go get a warm up.
Man, that was a fun session, but I skated a little too long, and really I could have just left an hour ago because my legs were just roasted. But before I talk about the session, I want to talk about Ishod Wair and the twin tail. Now, I couldn't find a clip of him talking about it, but he says something that kind of describes the way that I feel about twin tails, and it's just like the lack of thought, not having to think about like nose or tail or like flipping your board around. It lets you just kind of get immersed in the session more. And one thing I was thinking about today is I think it helps you skate switch more, because each time you like fall off your board and you step back on it, the way that the board is facing kind of like dictates how you step on it. Like if it's backwards, you'll jump on it, switch and flip around, or if it's forwards, you'll just go. But with a twin tail, if you want to, you can just jump on it, switch every single time. So you don't have to worry about, you know, flipping it around. And I feel like that just encourages you to do whatever it is that you want to do on your board and not really like bug out. You just get to, like I said, like get immersed in the session. And everybody that I've known that has skated twin tail says the same thing, that that's their favorite thing, is you start to like really get like in the zone a lot easier than with a regular board where you're like flipping it around. But that was a fun session. Like I said though, I was getting so exhausted this last hour that I spent here. I should have just gone home and been with my family or worked on something, because I was just so tired. I was trying that backside heel flip forever, like so long, and I landed a clean one, but then my camera was dead, so I had to come to the car, charge it for like 10 minutes, then go back and start trying the trick. I got that trick, and then immediately after I clipped it, the battery died again, and I needed to do a tray flip for you guys because I promised I was going to do a tray flip in every video. So I came back again, charged the battery for like 10 minutes, and then went and tried a few tray flips, and then I was trying them up the Euro after I did the 2 out of the bump, but my camera was dead, so I didn't show any of the attempts. But I do think that a tray flip up the Euro is definitely possible. I've got to say, this new board from Glider Skateboards is really solid. Like at first I had a few like weird ollies where the timing was a bit off because the shape is a bit different than what I've been skating, but after about 5 to 10 minutes I started getting used to it, and I gotta say, like, I found myself forgetting that I was skating a new board. And that's kind of the ideal scenario, that you're skating so fluidly that you don't feel like the board is holding you back or that you're having to adjust, that it just feels normal. So I gotta say, it feels very, very similar to the Jamie Foy twin tail. However, this board is an 825 rather than an 85, and Glider Skateboards actually offered to send me another board, and I think if I get another board from them, I'd go with the 85 because I feel like that would be really, really comparable to the Jamie Foy twin tail. But yeah, like I learned like let's think. I did like 3 or 4 tricks that I've never done before. Like I did the 5-0 180 out on the little curb. Kind of gross, but I mean, it's a new trick. Maybe I can start to make them look better. I was going to try that on the ledge. Well, I was trying it, but I couldn't really get into the 5-0 the way that I wanted to. And so I decided to just switch it up and do the back 50 to shove it out, which I think is like a gross trick, like 100% just a bad trick. Not a trick that I like to see, but regardless, I want to be able to do all tricks. So that one took me a little while, but eventually we got it. I felt like I got it like 60-70% clean. It was good enough, at least for me. And then the one thing I was like really hyped on was the fakie board slide back to fakie. That one took a lot of like tweaking, understanding how to position my shoulders so that I could come out back to fakie. And honestly, I feel like I probably should have gone back and done it again, but hyped with what I got regardless, and that's one I want to do more often going forward. This session has been a really long one, so to be honest, I'm a little bit delirious, a little bit out of it. I was hyped to get a couple backside flips. Unfortunately, they were not leveling out quite how I wanted them to. That's a trick that I feel like I should have better, because at one point I felt like I was doing them really well. I was doing them like first try, catching them, spinning them. I felt like I really had that trick dialed, but over time, just being complacent, it's kind of got away from me. I was also hyped on the back 5-0 on the ledge. I purposely like got into it earlier, so I think that's the longest back 5-0 that I've ever done. Eventually I want to be able to do like the full ledge, because honestly I kind of cheat them the way that I do them. I like fully sit on my tail, so I'm not like balancing it really, I'm just like chilling there. So there's really no excuse for me to not just like do the whole ledge, because I can just like sit on it forever. I was really hyped on the heel flip over the hip. I mean, as well as like the kick flip was good also, but I rarely do heel flip going that direction. It didn't take me too long. I feel like that's one that I should start doing a lot more often, because I'm starting to get a lot more control of my heel flips, and I want to be able to like really blast like a front side heel flip flip over like a hip. I was really surprised because I haven't actually skated in like 5 or 6 days because I've been sick. Probably not that long. I think the last time I skated was like Wednesday, so like 4 days. But I wasn't expecting to feel this good on my board, especially not like taking a longer break, at least for me, and then skating a new board. I was not expecting to skate as well as I did, but I think jumping down from an 8.5 to an 8.25, I think made it just a little bit easier for me. Maybe my legs would have felt a little bit laggy on like my regular 8.5, but maybe because like the 8.25 is just a little bit lighter, it felt good. Like it felt like I could do things with less effort. Yeah, productive session. Sometimes though you just like overstay your welcome. Like physically you're just kind of like drained and you should just like call it quits. Luckily I didn't get injured or anything. I feel like that's like the ideal scenario for getting hurt. It's like when you're over skating, like you're mentally and physically like not there. You're a little bit delirious, but you still want to skate. Anyways, I should have just had the discipline to cut it off because now I'm late getting home. And anyways, regardless, happy with the session. I'm super grateful for you guys for watching. I hope this video is interesting. I'm a huge fan of Twin Tails, and I can say I'm a fan of this glider skateboard. Appreciate everybody that participated in the giveaway, that showed love to glider skateboards and to my Instagram as well. I want to do a lot more giveaways like this in the future, so I hope you guys go follow Glider Skateboards. The more people that follow me and follow them, the more valuable I am to them, and the more willing they will be to do like giveaways like this in the future. So if you're not already, go ahead and follow Glider Skateboards on Instagram and follow me. That way we can keep doing these sorts of like board giveaways and whatnot. So all right guys, good seeing you, and remember to make every single day a Friday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.